Hey, everybody, welcome to the Addiction Unlimited podcast, where you get to learn everything you want to know about addiction and recovery. I'm your host, Angela Pugh, co-founder of Kansas City Recovery, life coach, and recovering alcoholic. To learn more about me, you can listen to episode 0 on your podcast app or find us on the web at addictionunlimited.com. Hello, my friend. Welcome back to Addiction Unlimited, where we talk about what comes after sobriety, because quitting drinking is the beginning, but living with power, purpose, and freedom is the goal. And today we're talking about one of the most misunderstood pieces of that process, motivation. I don't know about you, but I used to think that successful people, the ones who showed up consistently, who hit their goals, who seemed to have it all together, I thought they had some secret source of endless motivation that I just didn't have access to. Like maybe they were wired differently, born with something I didn't get, some superhuman discipline gene that skipped over me entirely. And I would picture them like jumping out of bed at 5 a.m., pumped up, laser focused, while I was over here hitting snooze 67 times, negotiating with myself about whether today was really the day I would start the new routine, or if maybe once again, I'd push it off until tomorrow. And I'll be honest with you, I spent years waiting to feel ready, waiting to feel motivated, waiting for that magical internal shift where everything would finally click and I'd wake up excited, inspired, and able to finally follow through. But that shift never came because my addict brain doesn't just whisper, it screams that I'm too lazy, too weak, too scared, not disciplined enough, not motivated enough, not good enough. It tells me I'm different and not in the empowering way. It tells me I'm defective, that I'll never be like those people, the strong ones, the focused ones, the ones who don't self-sabotage, the ones who don't have to battle their brain just to do normal things. And that voice was loud. And for a long time, I believed it. I believed something was wrong with me. And if I didn't feel motivated, I must be broken. And the truth that I had to learn the hard way, and what I'm going to share with you today, is motivation is not the answer. And waiting to feel ready is probably the exact thing that's keeping you stuck. Because here's the deal. Motivation is a mood, and moods lie. They're the most unreliable strategy you could possibly build your life on. They're temporary, they're reactive, they're based on sleep and hormones and whether your jeans fit today or you got a weird text last night. And if you're trying to build something solid, something lasting, you can't build it on a mood. So today we're going to talk about something that completely changed the game for me, something I wish I'd learned years earlier. We're going to talk about why motivation is unreliable by design, why your feelings are a terrible guide when it comes to taking action, and 3 structure hacks I use to move even when I don't feel like it. So if you've ever said, I'll start when I feel more motivated, this episode is for you, my friend. So grab your coffee, settle in, because we're going deep. And let's start here. I need you to hear this, and I mean really hear it. Motivation is a mood. It's not a method. It's not a strategy. It's literally just a feeling that comes and goes like the weather. But movement is a decision. And here's where most of us get tripped up. We confuse energy with readiness. We think that in order to do something, we have to feel like doing it first. How many times have you said something like this? Like, I don't feel like going to the gym today. I'll start journaling when I'm in the right headspace. I'll work on my business when I have more energy. Listen, I get it. I've been that person. But here's the truth bomb I need to drop on you today. Freedom doesn't come from waiting. It comes from action, movement, even the small ones. I remember a time, I'm going to get a little vulnerable here, when I was really struggling with showing up consistently in my business. I kept waiting to feel inspired, waiting to feel energized, waiting to feel ready. And you know what happened? Weeks would go by and I hadn't moved the needle at all. I was literally stuck in this holding pattern, waiting for some magical motivation fairy to sprinkle pixie dust on me. And when I got low enough, something shifted. I realized that the most successful people I knew, the ones I admired, the ones who were actually getting results, they weren't waiting to feel ready. They were just moving. They were taking action before they felt like it. And that action, that's what created the momentum. That's what created the energy. So I started to think about it differently. Instead of, I need to feel motivated to do this, I started saying, I'm going to do this and the motivation will follow. And you know what? It did almost every single time. Because here's what happens. When you take action first, when you move your body, even when you don't feel like it, when you sit down and do the work, even when you're not inspired, that movement creates energy. Action creates motivation, not the other way around. Think about the last time you really didn't want to work out, but you did it anyway. How did you feel after? I'm willing to bet pretty dang good. That's because movement generates energy. It doesn't require it. Listen, it's the same way for me going to meetings. There is never a moment in my life that I want to go jump in my car and get on the freeway and drive anywhere, right? But especially to a meeting. But when I get there, I am so grateful I'm there. I'm so happy I went. I feel so much better afterwards because it's taking the action that generates the energy. So if you take nothing else away from this episode, take this. Stop waiting for motivation to show up. Make the decision to move and watch what happens. Okay, let's get a little deeper here because I think this is where things get really interesting. Your feelings are not facts. Your feelings are not fuel. They're just feedback. Now, before you think I'm telling you to ignore your emotions or bypass how you feel, that's not what I'm saying at all. Your feelings are valid. They matter, but they should not be the thing that determines whether or not you take action toward your goals. And here's why. Your nervous system wants safety, not growth. It will literally sabotage your progress in the name of keeping you comfortable. Now, let me say that again because it's so important. Your brain and your nervous system are wired to keep you safe. And safe to your nervous system means familiar. It means comfortable. It means staying exactly where you are, even if where you are isn't serving you. So when you use your emotions as your compass, you're essentially letting the part of you that wants to stay comfortable make all your decisions. And that's why you stay stuck. Not because you're broken, not because you're lazy, not because something's wrong with you, but because you're still outsourcing your direction to the part of you that's scared of change. And I want to teach you about two concepts here that completely changed my perspective. The first is emotional reasoning. This is when you think, I don't feel like it, so it must not be the right time. Or I feel anxious about this, so maybe I shouldn't do it. Or I don't feel confident yet, so I need to wait. That's emotional reasoning, and it's keeping you stuck. The second concept is executive function. This is when you say, I made a plan, and I'm going to follow through regardless of how I feel. It's when you honor the commitment you made to yourself, even when your emotions are telling you to bail. And listen, I'm not saying this is easy. I'm not sitting here pretending that I just wake up every day and execute perfectly without ever struggling with my feelings. But what I am saying is that when I learned to separate my feelings from my actions, everything changed. I started to see my feelings as information, not instruction. They're giving me feedback about what's happening in my body and my mind, but they're not the boss of me. I am. And you are too, my friend. You get to be the one who decides what you do, not your feelings. You know, I'm all about creating structure, clarity, and calm. And that doesn't stop when the workday ends. For me, that 5 to 9 after the coaching calls, the content, the goals, that's sacred time. And one of my absolute favorite ways to shift gears and unwind is slipping into my Cozy Earth sheets. These aren't just sheets, my friend. They are buttery soft bamboo magic that actually help me sleep cooler. And listen, I'm a sleeper. I take my sleep very seriously. And if my space doesn't feel clean, calm, and cozy, I can't turn my brain off. But the minute I crawl into these sheets, it's like my nervous system gets the memo. You're safe. You can relax now. I also got the Bubble Cuddle blanket, and I'm obsessed with this thing. It's got this beautiful textured design. It feels like luxury hotel comfort, and everybody in my life is obsessed with this thing. So if you want to upgrade your home without remodeling a thing, start with Cozy Earth. Go to cozyearth.com, use my code Angela to get an amazing discount, and make your home the sanctuary it's meant to be. Okay, so by now you might be thinking, this all sounds great, but how do I actually do this? How do I take action when I don't feel like it? And that's exactly what I want to talk about in this segment. Because if you want consistent action, you need structure. And here's something I learned that really surprised me. Discipline isn't restriction. It's actually relief. Especially for those of us that are ADHD, high anxiety, control freaks, perfectionists, right? Like everybody with addiction. When you have a structure in place, you don't have to negotiate with yourself every day. You don't have to make a million micro decisions about whether or not you're going to do the thing. The decision is already made. And that, my friend, is freedom. So I'm going to give you 3 structure hacks that have been absolute game changers for me. And the first one is the 90-second rule. Here's what you do. Don't decide, just start for 90 seconds. This is huge for me, you guys, because my ADHD brain is sheer insanity 24/7. And I have so many moving parts and projects and things happening and tasks every day and family and my own life. Like it's just a lot, just like you. And I can get so overwhelmed and like not even knowing where to start. Even if I have a list, which you know I always do, I use my planner, I have everything mapped out. I can look at that thing and my head will just spin. I'll feel so overwhelmed. I just can't even figure out where to start. I just pick something and I start. 90 seconds. That's it. You don't have to commit to the whole thing, the whole workout. You don't have to commit to writing for an hour. Just commit to 90 seconds. Put on your gym shoes and walk to your mat. Open your journal and write 1 sentence. Pull out your planner and write down 1 task. Because here's what happens. Action flips the switch. Once you're in motion, even just for 90 seconds, your brain shifts. The resistance starts to dissolve. And more often than not, you'll keep going. But even if you don't, even if you stop after 90 seconds, you still showed up. And that matters more than you think. Structure hack number 2. Daily non-negotiables. I want you to identify 2 to 3 things that you do no matter what, no matter how you feel, no matter how busy you are, no matter what else is happening in your life. These are your anchors. These are the things that keep you grounded and moving forward, even on the days when everything else is falling apart. For me, my non-negotiables are I drink water as soon as I wake up to nourish my brain and my body. I move my body in some fashion every day, and I anchor my mindset with journaling or meditation. Those three things happen every single day, no exceptions. And on the days that I'm struggling, if my anxiety is high or my mood is low or my ADHD is in overdrive and I'm just having a hard time doing anything, I use my daily plan. It's a simple one-page structure that helps me stay centered and in motion on the days that my mind is spinning, because I still want to do the healthy, good for me kind of actions, but sometimes my brain can't think it through or make decisions or figure it out. So my daily plan keeps it simple. Do these things at these times, done. And all the activities are super simple and fast, which is exactly how I like things to be. And you can get my daily plan. It's totally free at addictionunlimited.com/plan if you want to check that out. And I will put the link in the show notes too. But the key here is this: make the commitment small enough that you can actually keep it, but important enough that it moves you forward. And hack number 3, visual triggers. This one is so simple, but so powerful. Make the right decision the easy one by putting visual reminders in your environment. Put your planner on your pillow at night so it's the first thing you see in the morning. Keep your journal in your purse so you can grab it during your lunch break. Put your water bottle on your desk so you remember to hydrate. Whatever it is you want to do more consistently, engineer your environment to support that action. Because here's the thing, your future self needs all the help it can get. When you set up these visual triggers, you're essentially giving future you a fighting chance. You're making it easier to follow through. You're removing the friction. And that's how habits actually stick. So let me wrap up this segment with this. Structure gives your future self a fighting chance. It takes the pressure off your willpower and puts systems in place that work for you, not against you. And quick thing, if what I'm talking about today is hitting home and you're realizing you can't keep doing this alone, you know I'm here. I work with a small number of people one-on-one every month in my private coaching programs. If you've been thinking about getting real support, go to addictionunlimited.com/call, answer a few quick questions to tell me a little bit about you, and you'll go directly to my calendar and schedule a time to talk. Let's bring this all together. If you've been waiting to feel ready, waiting to feel motivated, waiting for the perfect moment to start, I need you to hear this. That moment isn't coming. Not because you're doing anything wrong, but because that's not how change works. Change doesn't happen when you feel ready. It happens when you decide to move anyway. So here's my challenge for you this week. Pick one thing, just one. It could be moving your body for 5 minutes. It could be writing in your journal before bed. It could be planning your day every morning. Pick one thing, make it a non-negotiable, and commit to doing it for the next 7 days, regardless of how you feel. Because I promise you, on the other side of that commitment is momentum. On the other side of that action is clarity. And on the other side of that movement is the version of you who doesn't need to wait for motivation anymore. You've got this. I believe in you. If I can do it, I promise you, you can. And I can't wait to see what happens when you stop waiting and start moving. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. If this episode resonated with you, please share it with a friend who needs to hear it. Even if it's not somebody getting sober, everybody needs to hear these messages, right? Motivation is huge for everybody, sobriety or not. And don't forget to grab the daily plan. I will link that in the show notes. It's going to help you implement some simple tasks to keep you on track and keep your nervous system calm, right? Here's what I want you to hear. If you've been listening to this podcast for weeks or months or years and you're still struggling, it's time to stop trying to figure this out alone. I have 2 ways we can work together. The Recovery Accelerator is $9.97. You get my full online course, 2 months in my private community, and 2 one-on-one coaching sessions with me. or my signature coaching program is $32.95. It's 6 weeks of intensive support, 6 private coaching sessions, weekly group coaching, and direct access to me. I'm working with 5 people this month. If you want one of those spots, go to addictionunlimited.com/call right now. Click book a call. Tell me where you're at. That's addictionunlimited.com/call. Let's build the unlimited life together. I will see you next week for more goodness. Same time, same place. Can't wait. And this Friday, bonus drop from the Unlimited Life Starter Series, the 10 most loved episodes to help you rebuild your rhythm, structure, and emotional peace. And if you want to check out last week's bonus drop, I will link that in the show notes also. I hope you're having a fantastic day. I love you guys, and I will see you next week.
You've reached the end of another great episode of the Addiction Unlimited podcast. Candid and honest conversation about addiction and recovery. Be sure to visit us at addictionunlimited.com to join the conversation and access show notes and links to everything we talked about. Love this episode? Please take 30 seconds to subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes to help us improve and give you the information you want. Thanks for listening. See you next week.